Welcome back to Chapter 6 of Defender of Dirt. It might look like Eden, but Sam and I soon found trouble in paradise. We were hanging out on the front porch after breakfast, taking a break from unpacking, when we saw two girls. The older one looked about my age. She was pulling her sister along in a wagon, but she stopped when she spotted us. Her eyebrows shot up until they disappeared under her bangs. She stared hard at us without saying a word for ages, or at least long enough for me to say, "It's not polite to stare," which I didn't say because I couldn't get up the nerve. Behind her, the little kid in the wagon clutched a handful of flowers, just like the ones I'd seen in our neighbor's yard. She was slowly, happily tearing them to pieces. "I'm Sydney Franklin," announced the older girl. "Did you just move in?" I didn't like to meet her stare. Plus, I was distracted by the beheaded plants piling up in the wagon. Sam answered. "Yep, yesterday. Where do you live?" He's friendly, but likes to get to the point. All part of his speediness. I'm on the shy side, especially compared with Sam. "Oh, down on the corner, a safe distance from..." Her voice trailed off. That caught my attention. I took my eyes off her sister to take a quick look back at her. Her haircut, that stylish long in the front, short in the back bob style, was the most distinct thing about her. That and her eyes, clear, glassy blue. They seemed to cut right into whatever they fell on. Those eyes sliced and diced me. They also seemed to be mocking me. "Safe from what?" Sam shot back. "Not a what, a who," she replied mysteriously. She gave a shrug that bounced her hair up and out. Meanwhile, Destructo Kid in the wagon was getting restless. I guess she'd run out of flowers and was ready for new prey. "Come on, Sydney, I'm getting hungry," she whined. It was the little kid's turn to get the evil eye. "How many times do I have to tell you, Tessa, I don't tolerate interruptions?" Tessa didn't look fazed. She swung her pudgy legs over the side of the wagon, got out, and began tossing stems and petals into the air. "So anyway, about the who," Sam began, trying to steer back to the topic. "Well," Sydney coolly drew the word out as long as she could. "We just moved here a few months ago ourselves. But we've already found out there are a few oddballs living on this street. I won't name any names." She paused to see whether she had us. "They happen to be near neighbors of yours. They don't do anything the normal way. Their lawns are not even lawns. A mess. My mother says they're probably attracting disgusting vermin. And the bees could be dangerous. Such people shouldn't be living here. They think they're farmers or something. They even have chickens." "Bok, bok, bok, cluck, cluck, cluck," Tessa said, flapping her elbows and walking in circles. "Zip it, Tessa," Sydney snapped. "My father is checking into that because he thinks it's against the law to have chickens and bees in the city. And that lady, she might as well wear a sign that says, 'Hand me my broom, I'm about to take off.'" She was building up a lot of steam and had to stop to catch her breath. Sam, for once, didn't have a quick follow-up question. He just stood there, rubbing his chin. Sydney's eyes cut over from Sam to me. "You don't talk much. What's your name?" she demanded. I felt like the suspect in a police show, where they shine the bright light in your face, take a mug shot, and fingerprint you. I hardly ever go by my real name, but do you think I said squirrel to a girl like Sydney? A girl who would probably think that wasn't a normal nickname? No. I chickened out and muttered, "Rachel." Just then, Tessa grabbed the wagon handle and yelled, "Sydney, I'm going." She ran off down the street. her feet slapping on the pavement. Sydney did a little pivot on one heel, another hair-bouncing shrug, and walked after her. "Beware the vermin," she called back over her shoulder. "Let me get this straight," Sam said after they were gone. "We live near a farmer witch?" "That seems to be what she said," I answered. Yes, our neighbors did seem to be different from anybody I'd ever known. But were they creepy or dangerous? I had a hunch that Sydney and I probably wouldn't share the same view of lots of things. How could we, when I wasn't looking out at the world through those eyes of hers? Whatever the truth was about our neighbors, the conversation did make me uneasy. As long as Sydney's family was talking like this, the neighborhood wasn't quite the cozy, friendly place that it had looked from my window.